The distress called the mining station horizons. Edge floated silently above the mineral-rich asteroid Cerberus 7, its rotating rings generating artificial gravity for the 1,200 souls who called it home. Station Chief Alina Reyes stood in the command center, reviewing production reports from the previous month. The titanium yields were exceeding projections, and morale among the miners remained high. Despite being 43 light-years from Earth, Alina had managed remote mining operations for 15 years. But Horizon's Edge was special. It represented humanity's furthest permanent outpost, a testament to their species' relentless drive to explore and expand. The colonists here weren't just miners. They were pioneers, families who had chosen to build new lives on the frontier of known space. The peaceful morning routine shattered when Lieutenant Jin Park burst through the command center doors. His usually composed face showed unmistakable fear. Chief Reyes, our long-range sensors are detecting massive energy signatures approaching from Sector 7. Jin's voice trembled slightly as he handed her a datapad. These readings don't match anything in our database. Alina studied the information, her experienced eyes widening with each line she read. The energy patterns suggested ships, hundreds of them, moving in perfect formation toward their position. Their size estimates made her stomach turn. Each vessel appeared to be at least 10 times larger than the biggest human cargo freighter. How long until they reach us? Alina asked, though part of her already dreaded the answer at their current speed. Approximately 72 hours, Chief. Jin paused, then added quietly, their weapon signatures are active. These aren't exploration vessels. Alina felt the weight of responsibility for every person on her station. She activated the general communication system, choosing her words carefully. Attention, all personnel. We've detected unidentified vessels approaching our position. All department heads report to the command center immediately. This is not a drill, but there's no cause for panic. We're simply taking precautions. Within 20 minutes, her senior staff had assembled. Chief Engineer Roberto Martinez, a veteran of the Mars colonies, studied the sensor data with growing concern. Security Chief Yuki Tanaka, who had served in Earth's orbital defense forces, immediately began calculating defensive options with their limited resources. Dr. Michael Cooper, the station's chief scientist, worked furiously to analyze the alien technology signatures. These beings, whoever they are, use a form of energy manipulation we've never encountered, Dr. Cooper reported. Their propulsion systems appear to bend space-time itself, allowing them to travel at speeds that shouldn't be possible with our current understanding of physics. Roberto spoke up, his weathered face grim. Chief, our mining lasers could be modified for defense, but against ships of this size, it would be like throwing pebbles at a mountain. We need help. Alina made a decision that would change the course of human history. Yuki, activate the quantum emergency beacon. We're sending an SOS to Earth. The quantum beacon was experimental technology, installed on Horizon's Edge as a last resort communication device. It could send an instantaneous message across any distance by exploiting quantum entanglement, but it required enormous power. Using it would drain their reserves and leave them vulnerable. Chief, Yuki hesitated. If we use the beacon, we'll lose primary power for at least 12 hours. Life support will run on backups, but we'll have no shields, no weapons, nothing. Alina looked through the observation window at the asteroid below, where hundreds of miners were still working, unaware of the approaching threat. Those people trusted us to keep them safe. If there's even a chance Earth can help, we have to take it. Prepare the message. She composed the distress signal herself, keeping it brief but comprehensive. This is Station Chief Alina Reyes of Horizons. Edge, Mining Station, Cerberus 7. Unknown hostile fleet approaching. Estimated 300 vessels. 1,200 civilian personnel, including families with children. Hostile intent confirmed. Immediate military assistance required. Coordinates. Attached. We are humanity's farthest reach. Don't let us fall alone. The moment Yuki activated the quantum beacon, every light in the station dimmed. The massive fusion reactors diverted all available power to the transmitter. In an instant that seemed to stretch forever, the message shot across the cosmos, arriving at Earth's Deep Space Command mere nanoseconds after being sent back on Earth. The night shift at Deep Space Command in Antarctica was experiencing another quiet evening when every alarm in the facility began screaming. Simultaneously, Commander Lisa Stone rushed to the quantum receiver, hardly believing what she was seeing. They had received their first distress call from deep space, and it painted a picture of humanity's worst nightmare. First contact with a hostile alien species. Commander Stone immediately initiated Protocol 7, the classified response plan for potential alien threats. Within minutes, she was on a secure channel with Admiral Chen Wei, commander of Earth's most closely guarded secret, the Phoenix Fleet. Admiral Chen had spent the last decade overseeing the construction of humanity's first true war fleet. While the public knew about Earth's defensive satellites and patrol craft, the Phoenix Fleet was something different entirely. Built in the hidden shipyards of the asteroid belt, these vessels incorporated every advancement in human military technology. They were designed for one purpose: to protect humanity's expanding presence in the galaxy. The Phoenix Fleet consisted of 12 battleships, 36 destroyers, and numerous support vessels. Each ship bristled with railguns, plasma cannons, and nuclear missiles. More importantly, they were crewed by Earth's finest veterans of the Mars Uprising, survivors of the Europa incident, and the best tactical minds humanity had produced. How fast can the Phoenix Fleet reach Cerberus 7? Commander Stone asked Admiral Chen over the secure connection. Admiral Chen consulted his navigation officer. Using the new jump gate technology, we can make it in 60 hours. But Commander, we've never deployed the entire fleet at once, and we've certainly never engaged an alien force. Admiral, those are 1,200 human souls out there. If we don't respond, every colony will wonder if they're next. We go, and we go hard. Admiral Chen turned to his bridge crew. All hands, this is Admiral Chen. In 1 hour, the Phoenix Fleet will make history's first combat jump to defend human colonists against alien aggression. We've trained for this moment. Earth is counting on us. Humanity is counting on us. Battle stations. Across the fleet, 3,000 sailors and marines prepared for humanity's first interstellar war. Engineers ran final checks on weapons systems that had only been tested in simulations. Marine squads reviewed boarding procedures developed through years of theoretical planning. Fighter pilots climbed into cockpits of spacecraft designed to dogfight in 3 dimensions without air resistance or gravity. Back on Horizon's edge, Alina had gathered all colonists in the main assembly area. She stood before them, seeing fear, but also determination in their faces. The message has been sent. Help is coming, but we need to prepare for the possibility that it won't arrive in time. We're miners and engineers, not soldiers. But humans have never backed down from a fight for survival. Roberto and his team worked through the night, converting mining equipment into makeshift weapons. plasma cutters became short-range defensive. Turrets, mining drones, were reprogrammed as explosive rams. The station's or processing facility was reconfigured to produce crude armor plating. Dr. Cooper made a discovery that provided a glimmer of hope. "Chief, I've been analyzing their approach pattern. These aliens seem to expect no resistance. Their formation is designed for intimidation, not tactical advantage. They think we're helpless." Alina smiled grimly. "Then let's prepare some surprises. If we're going down swinging." As the alien fleet drew closer, their transmissions finally became decipherable. The Universal Translator, another piece of experimental technology, managed to decode their message after hours of processing. The aliens identified themselves as the Kalari Empire, and their message was simple: surrender, serve, survive, resist, and be destroyed. Alina stood in the command center, looking at her brave crew. She activated the station-wide communication system for what might be the last time. "This is your station, Chief. The Kalari Empire demands our surrender. They want us as servants, our children as slaves. Our answer is simple. Humanity bows to no one." Humanity's response: the Phoenix fleet emerged from jump space like avenging angels, their dark hulls materializing 48 hours after leaving Earth. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of the flagship TNS Phoenix, assessing the tactical situation. The Kalari fleet had formed a sphere around Horizon's edge, systematically destroying the station's outer defenses while broadcasting demands for surrender. "All ships," Admiral Chen commanded, "execute Operation Tsunami. Show these Kalari what happens when they threaten human lives." The Phoenix fleet split into 4 battle groups, each approaching from a different vector. Captain Maria Rodriguez commanded the TNS Retribution, leading the Alpha Strike group. Her ship's massive railguns, charged with a distinctive whine that every crew member had come to love during training, target their command vessel, fire when ready. The first salvo caught the Kalari completely off guard. Tungsten projectiles traveling at 20% the speed of light slammed into their flagship's shields, overloading them in seconds. The Kalari had conquered dozens of species, but none had possessed humanity's particular talent for warfare. Captain James Thompson of the TNS Vengeance led the second battle group in a flanking maneuver. His destroyers unleashed swarms of nuclear missiles, each one equipped with advanced AI guidance systems. The missiles weaved through space like schools of predatory fish, avoiding Kalari point defense and finding weak spots in their formation. On Horizon's edge, Alina watched in amazement as Earth's warships engaged the alien fleet. The colonists had been preparing to die, but now hope blazed. In their hearts, the cavalry had arrived, and they came with teeth. The Kalari commander, Supreme Executor Vorthok, couldn't comprehend what was happening. His empire had subjugated civilizations for millennia. The scanning of this small human outpost had suggested a species barely capable of interstellar travel. Yet these warships moved with precision and struck with devastating force. More disturbing was their psychology. They fought not for conquest, but for protection of their own. Executor Vorthok commanded his fleet to concentrate fire on the human flagship. 300 Kalari vessels turned their weapons on the TNS Phoenix. Energy beams that could vaporize asteroids struck the human battleship's shields. Admiral Chen felt his ship shudder but hold firm. "Return fire, all batteries. Show them human engineering." The Phoenix's response was devastating. Plasma cannons developed from decades of fusion research unleashed streams of superheated matter. Electromagnetic railguns fired in sequence, creating a rhythmic drumbeat of destruction. Missile pods emptied their contents in coordinated volleys. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Martinez led the Marine assault teams in boarding operations. Using stealth shuttles, they infiltrated 3 colliery vessels simultaneously. The aliens, accustomed to enemies who surrendered after their fleets were destroyed, were unprepared for close-quarters combat with humans. The Marines moved through the colliery ships like forces of nature. Their powered armor, developed from years of experience in hostile environments, made them nearly unstoppable. Sergeant David Kim's squad reached the engine room of a colliery destroyer. Charges set, 30 seconds to evacuation, he reported. The coordinated assault was unlike anything the colliery had encountered. Humans didn't just fight. They adapted, improvised, and overcame. When the colliery adjusted their shields to stop railgun rounds, the humans switched to plasma weapons. When they reinforced their hulls against boarding parties, the humans used long-range bombardment. Dr. Cooper, still monitoring from Horizon's edge, made a crucial discovery. Chief Reyes, I'm detecting a pattern in their fleet communications. They're transmitting back to their empire. They're calling for reinforcements. Alina relayed this information to Admiral Chen immediately. The Admiral made a swift decision. We end this now. All ships, execute Final Storm. Final Storm was the Phoenix Fleet's last resort protocol. Every ship would empty its magazines, deploy all fighters, and charge the enemy simultaneously. It was all or nothing. The space around Cerberus 7 became a maelstrom of violence. Human fighters, piloted by men and women who had trained in simulators since childhood, danced through the battlefield. They targeted colliery weapon systems with surgical precision. Commander Alex Petrov, leading Eagle Squadron, personally destroyed 6 colliery frigates in a single attack run. The colliery fleet began to buckle. They had superior numbers, but humans had superior tactics, determination, and the desperate fury of a species protecting its young. When the TNS Thunderbolt was critically damaged, its captain, Robert Anderson, made the ultimate sacrifice. He aimed his dying ship at the colliery command vessel and engaged the emergency burn. The collision destroyed both ships in a blinding flash. This act of self-sacrifice horrified the colliery. They had conquered species who fought for glory, for resources, for ideology. But humans fought for each other, and that made them terrifying. Supreme Executive Vorthok sent a message to his empire before his death. The humans are unlike anything we have encountered. They do not fight as individuals, but as one organism. They value their weakest members as much as their strongest. Do not underestimate them. As the Kalarai fleet began to retreat, jumping to hyperspace in disorganized groups, Admiral Chen received a transmission from the station. This is Alina Reyes. Admiral, I don't know how to thank you. You've saved us all. No thanks necessary, Chief. Humans protect humans. That's who we are. The battle lasted only 4 hours, but its implications would resonate throughout the galaxy. Of the 300 colliery vessels, only 43 escaped. The Phoenix fleet lost 3 ships and 400 brave souls, but they had saved 1,200 civilians and sent a message to the cosmos. Humanity would not be prey. In the aftermath, as rescue shuttles evacuated the wounded and engineers worked to repair Horizon's edge, Alina stood with Admiral Chen in the station's observation deck. They looked out at the debris field where alien and human wreckage floated. Together, This is just the beginning, isn't it? Alina asked quietly. Admiral Chen nodded. The galaxy knows about us now. Some will come as friends, others as enemies. But today, we showed them all what humanity is capable of when pushed. The news of the battle spread throughout human space within days. Earth's government could no longer hide the existence of the Phoenix Fleet or the reality of hostile aliens. But instead of panic, there was pride. Humanity had faced its first great test among the stars and emerged victorious. The Colliery Empire never again ventured into human space. Their records, recovered, decades later, referred to humans as the Chaos species, too dangerous to subjugate. Other alien civilizations took notice. Some offered alliance, recognizing humanity as a species that valued loyalty and protected the innocent. Others marked human space on their star charts with warnings. On Horizon's edge, now reinforced with military defenses and a permanent fleet presence, a monument was erected. It bore the names of those who fell in humanity's first interstellar battle. At its base, an inscription read, "Here, at the edge of human space, we proved that distance cannot diminish our bonds. When our farthest called for help, our strongest answered. This is humanity's promise. No one stands alone." Alina Reyes continued as station chief, but now she also served as humanity's first ambassador to non-hostile alien species, who came to learn about the Chaos species that had defeated the Colliery. She would tell them all the same thing. We are explorers and builders by choice, warriors by necessity. Friend or foe, the choice is yours, but know that humans protect their own with a ferocity that knows no bounds. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Humans might be newcomers to the interstellar stage, but they brought with them thousands of years of experience in the art of war, the strength of unity, and most importantly, the unbreakable will to protect those who could not protect themselves. The distress call from Horizon's edge had not been a cry of despair, but a clarion call that awakened humanity's true potential. And somewhere in the vast cosmos, other species whispered stories of the day the humans sent their Battlefleet across the stars to save 1,200 souls, forever changing the balance of power in the galaxy.